What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to No Counters, No Combos, and today we are back in the Battle Chamber. Shout out to Level 1 Games. This is taking place during our weekly local tournament over there. Kevin is on the left playing Towa, and I am on the right playing Cheelai. So I kind of don't want to give away the spice just yet. Hopefully you guys have assumptions as to what it is I'm playing, but you know, we'll see as the game progresses. So Kevin's going to go first, charging a Power Burst, activating Towa's skill to burst 3 and search top 5 for a Mira or Fu, and he grabs the 3-drop Mira, and then he passes turn to myself. So I'm going to draw for turn, charge a yellow energy, which is the beautiful Anniversary Box Nimbus, and then I'm going to play a Personal Ambition, play another Personal Ambition, and here Kevin kind of trolls me a little bit because obviously we're friends and we're teammates, but I did not tap and untap the yellow energy for Personal Ambition, so he kind of just wanted me to show that I was doing it. So that's a good call on him. And then I'm going to play 2 Dragon Balls to draw 2 cards, so I'm still at 1 yellow open. I haven't activated my leader skill just yet. So I've already played 2 Dragon Balls and 2 Personal Ambitions. I'm going to go ahead and activate my leader skill to look through my life for a Dragon Ball. And there is one there. Hopefully there's not any more, but usually, you know, I try not to get more than 2 in life. I know I have no control over that, but I feel like if you have more than 2 Dragon Balls in life, especially with Cheelai, since you're only really getting 1 per turn, it can really hurt you. So I'm fortunate enough to only have the 1 ball in life there. So I'm going to search it to my hand, play it, and draw another card, giving me 3 balls in my drop area. And as you can see, I have my hand is not so revealed, but it's a little revealed. You see I have the Dragon Radar there. But I am going to swing at his leader. You have to pressure Towa. You can't let her, because she doesn't really she doesn't want to really take too much damage. Since she doesn't have to awaken at a life total, she can awaken with just 10 cards in the warp. You're going to want to try to protect your life as much as possible. So you kind of have to swing at Towa. Kevin's going to charge his Mira and tap 2 for the Vegeta Time Regulator, which is a really good card for the Towa archetype. He's going to burst 3 and then search top 5 for a Mira or Fu, which he adds the 3-drop Mira that goes up the chain by absorbing a Towa, rather. He's going to overwhelm for 3 for Mira. Now I have to discard a card from my hand, so I'm going to discard the Anniversary Box Supreme Kai of Time, which doesn't really help me too much in this matchup. That is a really good card against other decks, especially Skillless and Pan. But in the Towa matchup, it doesn't really help me too much because he's not really going to swing with his Time Regulator, so it's okay for me to pitch that. And then he's just going to pass. You don't want to give your opponent hand advantage over you when you're playing Towa, so you just kind of, passively do what you have to do and just let your opponent play the game. But I am playing a Wish Leader, so I technically want to do the same thing. So this is actually a pretty decent matchup here. So I'm going to charge a green. And as you can see, I'm kind of giving it away a little bit. I'm charging a Plea for Salvation, which is a 4-drop Desire card that gets a green battle card from the drop area. That's 4 or less, plays it, and you can also destroy a 2-drop or less from the field. So I'm not playing a Victory Strike variant. I can definitely assure you that. So I play another Dragon Ball, draw a card. Let's see here if I'm going to activate my leader skills just yet. I don't think I did, because this is a Super Dragon Ball turn, so maybe I did activate my leader skill to search for Super Dragon Ball. And yes, I am playing a 1 of Super Dragon Ball. It's just too good not to play right now. Tapping 2 to draw 4 and then set up your drop area for your desires or whatever the case may be. It's just too strong. There's not a lot of decks that can kill you turn 2 right now. That completely changes in set 7, but right now there's not a lot of decks that can kill you turn 2. Plus you'll have Sparking Negates active, so it's not too much of a bad play. As you can see, you have to discard 2, so I'm discarding a Nail and an Oob. Don't really need those cards anymore. Play another Dragon Ball, draw a card. So I should be at 6 Dragon Balls if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at 6 Dragon Balls. I need 1 more to flip to my backside, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do it this turn. So I'm going to swing for my leader into Towa. Let's see if Kevin, he just takes it and goes down to 6, which is fine. I will give a little disclosure here. The sweet spot for my deck is to get my opponent to 5 life. If I can get to my opponent if I can get my opponent down to 5 life before my kill turn, it kind of puts me in a really good spot. So you'll see as we'll go through it as the game progresses here. But Kevin's going to charge a Towa, burst 3, and then scry top 5 for a Fu or Mira. He whiffs on that one, which is insane. And let's see what else he decides to do. So he's sitting at 6 life. He's got a time regulator. He could play another time regulator this turn and essentially have 2 on the board, so he can draw just a ton of cards every time, which is exactly what you're going to do. He plays another time regulator. Now if he overwhelms, he gets to put 4 back and draw 2, which is really good because you definitely want Miras in deck and you want Towas in deck and stuff like that for your Union Absorb. But you also have to be wary that you need 10 cards in your warps to actually awaken. So you kind of want to balance it out so you're not overcommitting to the time regulator and then not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not supporting your awaken condition. So he does swing with his Towa, combos up. I take damage, go down to 6, and then he's going to overwhelm for the Towa that takes control of a battle card on your opponent's side of the board that's 2 or less. I obviously don't have anything. He's just overwhelming at this point for the draws off of time regulator. So time regulator puts, every time you overwhelm, you can put up to 2 cards back at the bottom of your deck. So he's just going to choose to do 1 for each. So he's going to put a total of 2 cards back to the bottom of the deck, and then he's going to draw 2. So because he's resolving 2 time regulator effects there. So time regulator is up to 2. You don't have to put 2 back. You can put 0 back technically if you really want to. So he does that, draws 2 cards. He's got 8 cards in his warp now, so he still can't awaken, but he's in a better spot. He's going to pass to me. I'm going to draw, untap, and I should charge a green here. Yeah, so charge another green, charging a nail. So I'm at total of 3 energy, 2 green, 1 yellow. I'm going to activate my leader skill to get my last Dragon Ball, and now I can awaken, which is really good. I mean, you want to get to that backside as quickly as possible so you can start drawing. But my deck does require to get to turn 4. So the first 4 turns is me just setting up and playing defense, and then turn 4 is my big turn. So I need to survive. My deck is all about early survival and late game aggression. That's like the best way I could describe it. So we're going to go ahead and draw off of my leader skill, and then we're going to attack his leader, no combos. He's going to super combo up Supreme Kai and draw a card, and then I'm going to pass with 2 green and 1 yellow open. Kevin's going to draw for a turn, charge an energy, go up to 4. So the thing is we're both playing decks that essentially don't really do anything until turn 4. So turn 4 is a big turn for Kevin. However, he doesn't have the 10 cards in warp, so his Mira still costs 5. But he's going to burst 3 again and scry top 5 and whiff again, which is really, that just sucks. Whiffing 2 turns in a row on a Mira or Fu is just terrible. But he does have the opportunity to overwhelm here and put cards back, also giving him enough cards in his warp to awaken and untap 1, which is essentially the play you want to make. He hasn't committed anything to the board just yet, so he is going to overwhelm a Mira, which is fine, because you're going to swing for infinite damage with that Mira. Then he's going to shuffle back. I think you want to do 2 at this point, so I think he's going to put 2 back and then draw 2, which will allow him to awaken and untap 1. So you're going to put the 2 Miras back at the bottom of the deck, draw 2 off of each time regulator. Then you're going to awaken, untap 1, draw 1, I believe. Yeah, I think she's on untap 1, draw 1. So he has 10 in warp, which is great because now the 5-drop Mira reduces its cost. So you're going to awaken, untap 1, draw 1. And now, since you have 10 in warp, you meet the requirements for the Mira. If you want to go that route, which is not a bad idea, because if you go into the 5-drop Mira, you can Union Absorb a Towa and then make your opponent discard warp 3 cards and have another Mira on the board, like the big Mira. So it really is a pretty good combo. So it's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to activate leader skill to put 3 back from warp into drop to give a Mira critical. Now, he's going to give the 5-drop critical because he has an inherent double strike. So he's going to swing at me for double crit 20k. I'm going to tap a green for a shocking death ball and kill one of his time regulators, which is amazing. because Shocking Death Ball just essentially gets rid of his draw engine. And then he's going to swing at me with the big Mira that he overwhelmed. Now, this Mira does not have double strike, and Towa did not give him crit. So it's just a regular big infinite swing for 1, which I'll take. And then he's going to swing at me with his time regulator, which is fine. At this point I could just combo out, which is, now you guys, okay, so, yes, I have made the decision to attempt a Cheelai Wish Gohan deck, which you can see by me comboing the new Anniversary Box Gohan into the drop area. So that makes me survive that time regulator swing. He is now, however, going to Union Absorb a Towa from his drop area to play the Mira. And now when Mira is Union Absorbed, if your leader's an Aandroidd or a Towa or a Mira, whatever the case may be, he Union Absorb him, and your opponent has to warp 3 cards. So I did put my warp off to the side. I will place that pile back down, back in frame, so you can see what I warped, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point. And then Kevin decides to pass. So I'm gonna draw for turn. He's not gonna swing at me with that Mira, which is okay. He's got double strike, but he probably is reading that I have another negate. He doesn't want to lose a time regulator, so he's gonna pass to me. It's my turn to charge. I'm going to charge a Supreme Kai here because it's essentially useless in this matchup. And now I'm at 4 energy, so I get to do some stuff. So I'm going to World Peace off of my leader skill for a free wish. Now, World Peace obviously plays my battle card from the drop area as long as it's equal to my energy. As long as I can activate World Peace for 4. And then I play the Gohan, which draws me 2 cards when he's played if I have a green leader. Then I'm going to tap 4 here for Shenron Figure of Majesty, which is a great card in this deck. It's so good. I'm going to activate his skill to draw a card and untap 2, untapping a green and a yellow. So I'm pretty okay right now as far as setup is concerned, because now I have Shenron on board. I've already activated my leader skill for Free Wish, which is fine. But essentially what's going to happen now is this Anniversary Box Gohan allows me to evolve for free the Piercing Super Saiyan 2 Sun Gohan from set 2, which that card is bananas. They did recently update its ruling where it gets the auto triggers when he enters battle for the duration of the turn. So instead of it being where when your opponent combos his auto triggers, now it's when he comes into play. Any battle card that's 3 or less on your opponent's side of the board, you KO them or you place them in the drop. And then for the turn that he's summoned or for the turn that he's played, if your opponent is to combo with any cards that cost 3 or less, they go immediately to the drop area. So essentially, if you want to combo successfully to where the combo power is going to register, you need to combo with cards that cost 4 or more. So because I played the Gohan and put his time regulator into the drop area, I gave him Sparking 5. So he's just going to negate my Gohan attack, which is totally fine. He's going to go down to 5 life. And then I'm going to swing with my leader to pressure him for 15k. He does grab the Kami off of the Power Burst. So I know I now have that threat looming in the back there. But I don't have a wide enough board yet to where Kami is enough for him to play. So he does combo the Towa. That's a Dark Overwhelm Towa for 1. She takes control of a opponent's battle card that's 3 or less, which it's a really good card. I think it's like Dark Innovator or something like that. And that's pretty much it. That's my turn. That's my big, quote-unquote, big turn. Obviously, I'm playing a little differently because I'm playing against something that essentially controls my hand, and he does have a high life total right now. But I'm in my sweet spot. I'm in my range of where I want him to be at 5 life. And then next turn, I'm going to be able to generate more advantage with an already established Shenron on the board, of course, if he doesn't get rid of it. So he's going to charge the Crisis Crusher, giving him a total of 5 energy. At this point, you definitely want to play a Banisher Fu to get rid of the Shenron, because the Mira can easily handle the Gohan by himself because he swings for such a big total. And he does have leader swing, if anything. So let's see what he decides to do here. He is going to swing Mira into my Gohan, which is totally fine. And he's really big. So I'm not going to combo or waste a negate or anything. That's fine. I'll just, be able to play the Gohan from the drop area again and get some more advantage that way. So totally fine. But he has 5 energy open. So Kevin has a lot of things that he could do. He's going to play the Kami to draw a card. And then he's going to play a Time Disruptor to draw a card. and he's also going to play a Toki. So he's definitely digging for something here. Toki's going to put itself back into the deck, creating a mandatory shuffle. He's searching for a target, but he doesn't have anything, which is unfortunate because at least he would have gotten another draw off of it. I think at this point he's digging for an answer for Shenron, but Toki at least gives him the ability to shuffle all the cards that he put back with his time regulators. So right now, it looks like Kevin's digging for an answer for Shenron, which he doesn't have. He does have a good amount of cards in his hand. I believe one of them is a Power Burst. But he's going to swing at me with Leader, and I'm just going to take it and go to 4. Like, there's no point of me defending that. The extra card helps at this point. 4s is still healthy life total for Shenron deck or for Wish decks. There's not much more he can do. He's just going to pass for turn. And I'm going to go into turn 5, which essentially any turn after turn 4 with this deck is just value town. Like, you could just do so much for so little. You can just keep making your plays, and the later and later you get into the game with this type of deck where you're going to rely on bombs, essentially, you're going to put yourself in a better position. So I'm going to charge an Oob, giving me a total of 5 energy, 3 green, 1 yellow, and 1 black. I still have my Shenron on board. I still have 4 life and a good amount of cards in hand. So I am going to free wish Plea for Salvation to bring out the Gohan. Now, Plea for Salvation is similar to World Peace, but it can only target green battle cards, and you get the added bonus of destroying a card on your opponent's side of the board that's 2 or less. Because I played Gohan, I get to draw 2 cards, and now I can evolve my Piercing Super Saiyan 2 right over the top, clearing the rest of his board that's 3 or less. So I have this big Mira staring me in the face, which is a 30k, and I'm going to tap 2, it looks like here. Tap 4 for another Gohan to draw 2 more cards. So at this point, I just want to put as much pressure on him as possible. I'm going to activate Personal Ambition, tap a yellow, draw a card, untap a yellow, just to filter more protection. I'm at 4 life, so it's very healthy for me to be at that life total. I still haven't activated Shenron's ability just yet. But my deck is getting very, very thin at this point. So I have to be very, very careful. This deck does draw a ton of cards. All pretty much, Wish leaders do. But this deck just draws so much because its battle cards generate advantage as well. So I'm going to activate Shenron's skill, drawing a card, untapping 2, giving me a total of 3 energy and active, 1 yellow, 2 green. And let's see how I sequence here. He's at 5. I want to try to get him down to 3, because if I can survive, which I have a good idea as to. At this point, I'm pretty sure I can survive because I wouldn't be extending so much, knowing that he has Kami, without being able to survive. So I'm going to swing with Nail into the leader because I have Bond 2. He draws a card and gains plus 5k when he attacks. So Kevin decides to combo out with Mira, but I showed him, I reminded him of Gohan's skill, that if you combo with anything 3 or less, it immediately goes to the drop area and does not register the combo power. So I allowed him to take that back because, we're teammates, we always test and stuff like that. And this is, even though it is a competitive game, this is a local. So I'm not going to be too crazy about it. I'm going to, he has to combo with something higher than 4 or higher in order to register combo power. So at this point, I'm putting him in a tough spot because most of your cards are going to be 3s or less. There's only a handful of cards, example, the Mira that he just comboed with, that are going to be more than 4. But that's fine because you know what? Now he doesn't have that Mira to go into next turn to punish me by Union Absorbing. So it's totally fine. It does its job. We're going to swing leader to leader, 15 to 15. Let's see if he decides to counter, since we do see his power burst there. It does also look like he has a Fu the Dark Banisher in his hand, which is going to come in clutch next turn if he decides to play it. And we're going to swing now with our 19k Gohan to leader, so he'll have to combo a card as well to survive this attack. The good thing about this Gohan archetype strategy, so to speak, is you don't have to unnecessarily combo, since percentage-wise, your opponent is going to have combo power, or at least 5k combos percentage-wise are going to be usually 3 or less cost. So you can kind of sneakily get away with comboing without having your opponent to respond. And, if they do have 4 drops or 5 drops that are free 5k combos, they're probably impactful cards. So them comboing with those cards essentially kind of lets you extend your life in the game. So there's a lot of theory behind it, and there's a lot of kind of little, misnomers about it and small little details when you look at it. But, this Gohan archetype does something that no other card, archetype in the game does. It prevents your opponent from effectively comboing and registering that combo power for the duration of the turn. Obviously, Mira takes away the combo phase just in general because it's an infinite attacker, but this kind of strategically makes your opponent pick and choose what type of damage it takes. And now Kevin has actually gone down to 3 life. He did power burst my previous swing, getting back to Kami, so he's definitely going to Kami me this turn, but he's going to have to commit 3 energy to that, and I'm totally fine with that. I mean, he is sitting at 6, so he'll have 3 other energy to play, which is totally fine. But Kami's only going to wipe 4 drops or less. So we're not losing our entire boards here, which is kind of okay at a trade-off. I mean, his Mira is obviously going to swing into my Gohan, which, again, is totally fine. That's what we're just kind of, going over here as far as what Kami removes from the board. So he's got his 7-drop Mira. I got my 7-drop Gohan. He's going to go right into the Gohan, which is totally fine. Again, I'm not going to worry about wasting anything because I can just recur them and play them again. It's not a problem. Obviously, you have to have the SS2 piercing in your hand in order to evolve it, but there are better things I can do with my combo power and saving my life as opposed to saving my battle cards, which I can just easily recommit to the board with desire cards and stuff like that. So he's going to swing with his Mira infinitely into my Gohan. It doesn't even matter. Don't even ask the question of how big is he, because he's huge. He is going to tap 2 for a time regulator. He's going to overwhelm Mira. I have to discard a card from my hand, so I'm going to discard a Nimbus, and then he's going to shuffle back 2 and draw off of his time regulator. So obviously you want to shuffle your Mira pieces back into the deck. Or not shuffle, just place them back into the deck so you can have that combo to go back into if needed. And then he's going to swing at me with his 15k Mira. I don't negate this attack, I believe. Or I might Shocking Death Ball here just to get rid of the time regulator. But I'm not exactly sure how I sequence this. I do have 4 life, so I'm at a healthy life total. As far as life advantage, I am up on Kevin. He's sitting at 3. I'm at 4. So I am going to go ahead and Shocking Death Ball to go even and get rid of the time regulator. Because at this point in the game, time regulator is another 15k body that he's going to swing with. Now he's going to swing at me with his leader 15 to 15. I'm not going to counter this. My hand is a lot larger than Kevin, so even anything he combos, I'll be able to combo out of. But he combos a 5k going up to 20, and I just super combo. As you can see, I'm playing Defensive Stance Vegeta as my super combo. I'm not playing Paragus Defending Father, and I will tell you why. He just draws too much. This deck draws way too much. As you can see, I only have 3 cards left in my deck. So Paragus essentially will kill me at this point. But Defensive Stance is really good because it's a sparking super combo, which I turn on earlier than I would Paragus being at 4 life. So just essentially, I feel more comfortable playing a sparking super combo because I don't want to get down to 4 life to turn on my super combos. That's just me being paranoid. As you can see, I made the mistake of charging a green card, and Kevin was kind enough to allow me to take it back so I can charge a yellow, giving me a total of 6 energy, 3 green, 2 yellow, 1 black. I only have 3 cards left in deck. Kevin's only got 3 life. So essentially, if I don't win this turn, I lose. So it's going to be interesting to see. There really is only a couple things that I can do to guarantee me a win here. But I don't think I'm sitting in a good position right now as far as cards in my hand and cards that I have left. So there was an interesting conversation that I had here with Kevin. Obviously, we kind of play openly a little bit, and we kind of talk about what we have in our hands and stuff, here and there. I don't have the piercing Super Saiyan 2 Son Gohan in my hand. So I can play a Gohan, which is not a problem, but I won't have the ability to evolve the 7-drop over the 4-drop. So I'm going to go ahead and World Peace a Shenron, which is a very questionable play on my part, because Shenron's ability, I have to draw a card to activate any of his abilities at this point. So I kind of want to dig for the 7-drop, but I can only get the 7-drop on the board by playing the 4-drop, and the 4-drop Gohan's draw 2 effect is mandatory. It's not draw, you may draw 2, you have to draw 2. So I am not in a position to draw 2 cards right now, because it's only going to leave 1 card in my deck. So we're going to see if I can big brain this and try to pull a win out. So I'm sitting at 6 energy. I have a Shenron on board. I have my leader. I have 3 life and about maybe 12 cards in hand to Kevin's maybe 6. Kevin's got 3 life and energy open for his Towa leader skill. So it's going to be tricky navigating this, but I think you guys are going to be surprised with the outcome in just a few short minutes here. I do apologize for the length of this turn. I normally don't take too long playing. I don't like to be rude to my opponents and taking my sweet time playing my turn. But, you know, we were both X1 at this point. So whoever won this game essentially guaranteed themselves second place. And, you know, we play for store credit and stuff like that. So there is kind of like a little bit riding on it. So, yeah. Just a little peel back of the curtain as to what goes on, you know, on the local level here in northern New Jersey. Kevin's a great player. You know, he plays Towa very, very well. So you can never count him out of any situation. And I'm trying not to, you know, look down on my opponent and take it for granted at this point. You know, I have the one of my worst qualities is playing down to the level of my opponent. But I've been lucky enough to assemble a good team to where I have to now play up. I have to up my game and play at their level, which has helped me immensely become a better player at this game. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not nowhere near close, but I have become a lot better at this game with the help of my teammates and the constant, you know, play testing and stuff like that, just being consistent with the game. So, again, we're still trying to decide what we're going to do here. I'm going to activate Shenron's skill to draw a card, going down to 2 in deck, and I did not draw the card that I wanted, but I'm going to go ahead and revive the nail. Now, that's an interesting play because I can now swing at my opponent's leader with nail and draw a card because I have Bond 2. So I'm down to 1 card left in deck, and I can tell you from memory that I did not draw the Super Saiyan 2 Piercing Sun Gohan. So I don't know how I'm going to pull this out. He combos out of my nail swing, goes down to like 6 cards in hand. There really is only one thing for me to do, but it has to be so good, sequenced properly, and big brain that hopefully it works out into my favor. So I'm going to tap 4 to Overwhelm here for Dark Banisher Fu. You're going to see it come down in a second here. Dark Banisher Fu. Now, this part of the game is very, very crucial because, and I will explain when it happens, you'll see the interaction here. Dark Banisher Fu's effect is, if my opponent decides to activate a skill, any skill, they have to warp a card from their hand. So anytime Kevin wants to do something, he's got to warp a card out of his hand, whether it's a super combo or a counter or anything that has an additional effect, he has to warp a card from his hand. He has 1 energy open, so he can activate Towa's skill to get rid of my triple attack. However, the ruling states that once the condition is met for triple attack, my card essentially restands. So how it plays out is, if I swing at you with my Fu, right? If I swing at Kevin with Fu here, I get to combo before his active battle. So essentially all of my combo power would register and everything would go, and then he would go again and activate Towa's skill, which is exactly what we're talking about as the game's going on here. So when it's his active battle, he can tap 1, pitch a card, which he'll have to warp a card for because of Fu's ability, to negate my triple attack. So that means essentially I would only have 1 more attack since my card's already active. Now, another reason why I'm playing defensive stance, it's still a 10k combo, and I don't have Sparking 5, so I don't draw, which is another reason why I play this super combo. So Kevin is going ahead. He's going to go ahead and activate Towa's skill to remove my triple attack. He's going to pitch the Dark Banisher Fu and then warp his super combo, and I restand, allowing me only 1 more attack. So he's going to take it and go down to 2. Now, I only have 2 more attacks here. I have Fu and I have my leader. So I'm going to attack my leader into his leader. I'm going to super combo, no draw, going up to 25. And then I'm going to combo the Shenron off of the board, going up to 30, hoping he can't combo out. So he's going to super combo, warp a card, draw a card, putting him at 25. He's going to super combo, warp a card, draw a card. And he's sitting at 15, 25, 35. So at that point, he just scoops because he knows he can't combo out of the last Fu. And the Gohan was the last card in my deck. So I got super lucky. You know, some of the cards were in my favor there as far as drawing, but definitely playing on close to the edge there with the last card in deck if I didn't survive that turn. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Be there or be square.